Devin Pike with the Dallas International Film Festival, and we're not at our normal streaming studios at Mockingbird Station. We're here at the American Airlines Center because the man we're talking to has a day job, and we don't want to take him away from that, so the mountain comes to Muhammad. In this case, it's Mavericks GM Donnie Nelson. Donnie, thanks for coming on with us.
Hey, Devin, my pleasure.
Absolutely. A lot of people locally know that you are a massive proponent of basketball players abroad and athletes in general, founder of the Global Games 8 or 9 years ago, but also someone who broached the Soviet Union as far as getting players into the NBA, also with China, and you also served as a coach on the 1992 Lithuanian national basketball team that took the bronze medal in the 92 games, and that is being documented in a film that's premiering tonight at the Magnolia called The Other Dream Team. Talk a little bit about how you got involved with coaching that team.
It was an amazing story. I was trouncing around with a team called Athletes in Action, and that's back before the breakup of the Soviet Union. And ironically, I was matched up against a young player named Shrunas Marshalonis that played for the Soviet junior team. He proceeded to torch me for about 40 points, but I got the license plate. And we developed a relationship, and that relationship had something to do with him joining the Golden State Warriors at the time, who my father was the head coach and I was the assistant coach. His career took him on to be one of the top players in Europe and in the world. Mine took me into the coaching field. We kept the relationship, and that was really the genesis of my involvement with the Lithuanian team. When Lithuania received its freedom after the breakup of the Soviet Union, Shrunas asked me, "Hey, would you like to come over and help us out? We've got some really good players. We'd like a little injection of NBA coaching and technology and such." So therein lied my intro.
But when you coach an Olympic basketball team, really any Olympic sport, it's not even a process like a normal NBA offseason where if you change coaches in the offseason, you get a couple of months to take a look at the team, you make some personnel changes. But it's a multiple year process. Was there a barrier not only with getting involved with the team, but also a language barrier or trying to bring American style basketball to the Lithuanians?
There were lots of barriers, and as documented in the film, the first barrier was the Soviet Union itself. I mean, Lithuania was annexed after World War II. They spent close to 50 years in occupation against their will. You talk about a people that love freedom. It's a little America over there, really. In fact, when I toured there with the Soviet Union, the climate of that country was much different than in Moscow and the rest of the country. Very pro-American. We felt very welcome there. So the barriers were really the Soviet Union itself, then certainly the language barrier. Lithuania is one of the most archaic languages in the world, traced all the way back to the original Sanskrit. And it's funny because in that language, to say something fruitful or to use those special four-letter words, you have to literally use Russian, because the worst thing you can call somebody in Lithuanian is like a snake or a rock, which is a neat component to this entire story. It really endears you to the people and their fight for freedom, against one of the darkest political forces in history, the former Soviet Union.
I can almost imagine just telling somebody to post up would take a good week of solid translation. When you were working with the team, was there a film crew following you around during the process?
There were lots of film crews. It was a unique situation. As you can remember, literally in 1991, the fall of the Soviet Union happened in the capital city of Vilnius. It was Russian tanks rolling up the streets against single-shot rifles and pitchforks and dump trucks, that surrounded the capital. There were members of our team and their families that were there that night that were protecting the capital. People lost their lives. It was really, it was a very emotional moment, but it was the birth of a movement that brought down the Soviet Union. So all of that stuff happened on the streets of Vilnius, and those players in the locker room in the 1992 team that went locked horns with the Dream Team and won the bronze medal, those guys were patriots in a lot of respects.
Americans take the memory of the victory in the semifinal game against the Russians in ice hockey in 1980, as the golden moment. Do you find it ironic that Lithuanians' golden moment was beating Russia in the same round in basketball in '92?
Well, our golden moment was a little bit different than theirs. And like I said, they had suffered through 40, close to 50 years of occupation during the Stalin time, and there was more people killed in Stalin's supposed time of peace under that regime than any other regime in the history of mankind, certainly the New World Order. So they had been through heck and high water. Um, a little country of 3.5 million folks. So when that moment came in 1992, it was really the team saw it as an opportunity to springboard themselves back into the European community. They had been occupied for so long. They really lost their identity, as you probably have seen or heard with a lot of communist takeovers. The first thing to go are the churches and then the educators, and it's a difficult existence. So us beating the Soviet Union certainly was a proud moment for all of us Americans. But the thing that really drew me to Lithuania was um, they were a lot like our country, and the rebirth of their country took place while I was actually over there. I grew up in Boston, so you heard the shot heard around the world in Bunker Hill. Well, I was sharing a locker room with their Paul Revere's, and that was very, very special and unique to me.
Let's flash forward to when the documentarians who put the Other Dream Team together were talking about doing this as a film project. How hard was it for them to assemble the footage from all these various sources, including ESPN, NBC, who were covering the Olympics that year? It couldn't have been an easy process to gather all of it and turn it into a cohesive narrative.
Yes, and we were followed by a bunch of film crews. There wasn't one specific film crew dedicated to us. It was so Marius really had to do a job in gathering up all this footage from all of these different sources. Certainly, the most memorable was the Olympic footage, but some of the stuff that he's come up with, I've never seen it before. When I had a chance to see the movie at Sundance, I was in awe of all of it because I didn't know it existed, and that was the first time I ever saw the movie.
Really good sports documentaries or even sports films that are based on actual events, for people who don't have a good memory of those games, it's almost like they're watching the game at a local sports bar with a really big screen. Did you have the same reaction when you were watching it at Sundance?
I did. The footage and the clarity, and it brought back such emotional memories. It was that whole team and that movement was just it was a very riveting thing, not just for Lithuania, but every country in the world that quests for freedom, that understands the value of freedom, looks at what we did and are really proud of the accomplishment of beating the former Soviet Union for the bronze medal.
One other quick question, and it's unrelated to the Other Dream Team. Another film showing at the Dallas National Film Festival is No Ashes, No Phoenix, which is based on one of the German teams. Have you been watching that team to try to get some scouting on maybe somebody you can bring over for the Mavs for this year?
Absolutely, yes. We're always looking. We've had good luck in the German pond, so to speak. So yes, we'll be looking there.
I'm not quite sure I know who you're referring to.
Big, tall, blonde guy.
The Ghost Thriller. Yes, the Ghost Driller. Donnie, thank you for spending time with us, and we're really looking forward to seeing the Other Dream Team tonight at the Magnolia. I'm floored because I remember that Olympics very, very distinctly, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it on the big screen tonight.
Thank you, Devin. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. You're watching coverage of the Dallas International Film Festival on livestream.com and at dallasfilm.org. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.